My pronouns are he. Because I identify as a comedian.
This comedian dives into the absurdity of modern campus life, expertly highlighting how things have shifted from fun college days to more politically charged environments. The sharp wit makes fun of how today's students seem more prepared to protest than to have a good time. Gone are the days of college kids just letting loose. Now they're armed with signs, unsure of what they're even protesting, but ready for it.
I was performing at a college. Now, colleges are notoriously fun. At least they used to be. College kids used to party, right? Cruise ships used to be boring. Old people who are conservative, they're not gonna laugh. College kids used to, everything has changed. Now the cruise ship people are like, make me laugh, I'm ready, yeah! And college kids are like, I'm ready to protest, I just don't know why yet. Should we protest now or wait till later? They're ready. They don't even know what to. They have the sign ready. They're just. What are we writing on this today? Chick-fil-A? Are we doing Chick-fil-A? Are we protesting? Top Gun? What should we protest? We gotta protest something. They don't have fun. It's crazy, man.
The comedian's critique of today's college culture is sharp and unflinching, with a focus on how political correctness has shaped student behavior. When describing the college environment, he brings attention to how the fun and carefree nature of college life has been replaced with a more rigid, protest-oriented mindset. By comparing college students to cruise ship passengers, he highlights the contrast between what college used to represent, freedom and fun, and how it's now about finding something to be offended by. The mention of being told not to talk about race, religion, politics, and gender at a safe space show adds to the critique of how the very essence of comedy, pushing boundaries and touching on controversial topics, has been stifled.
To the college, and the student advisor is the lady in charge. She goes, just so you know, we did not have a good experience with our last comedian, and we want to make sure that you understand this is the student safe space. This is, yeah, we don't want to trigger them. So all we ask is you don't talk about race, religion, politics, gender, and don't make direct eye contact with them. Other than that, say whatever you want. We're really big into freedom of speech on this campus. So like, are you though? Really? Are you? I'm like, race, religion, politics, I'm like, what am I gonna talk about? It was out of control. So I said, what if I just say hi to them for an hour and get paid? She's like, that'd be great.
What's funnier, comedy restrictions or the comedian literally running? The way the comedian plays with these moments exemplifies the clash between humor and today's hyper-aware culture. The comedian continues to push the envelope with his observations on the evolving LGBTQ+ acronym, poking fun at how the constant updates feel overwhelming and even absurd. When a student corrects him for not using the latest version of the acronym, he humorously compares it to an outdated iPhone model, an outdated joke, but one that still rings true for many who can't keep up with constant changes.
Started saying, where's all the white people at? Where's the black people at? Latinos, Persians, Asians. Then I started running out of groups. I'm like, Laos in the house. Who else? And then I made a mistake I didn't even know. I said, where's all the LGBTQ students? Make some noise. Yeah, you're here. Yep. But I'll tell you what, at that show, the woman got offended. One of the students, she came up. I just called her a she. Hold on. I'm not a biologist. Hold on. They all came up at the same time. Because it was one person. And they looked me in the eye and they go, that was extremely rude what you did up there.
This running gag about the community needing a gay BCS highlights how overwhelming and ridiculous the constant stream of updates can feel, while still poking fun at the tendency to add more categories and labels. The comparison to reading terms and conditions is spot on, capturing how nobody truly understands or cares about these constant changes, yet we all feel the pressure to keep up.
I just said hi. She goes, where's the LGBTQ students? I go, that was nothing. She goes, it's LGBTQIAA+, you idiot. And then she stormed off. Yeah. I was like, wait, I didn't know they did an update. Did you guys know they did an update? No. If you did, that's cool. That you're like an iPhone 16. You're updated. I'm a little older. I'm an iPhone 7. I'm not quite there. iPhone 7 used to be good. It's not as good anymore, but don't hate on the iPhone 7, all right? It had its time. So she was mad at me because I wasn't updated. I had to go home and Google it so I don't offend other students. I go, what's LGBTQIAA+? And the more you Google that stuff, the more the advertisements start changing on your computer. My suggested items are completely different than they were last year. We think you'd like this. I'm like, oh my God. Add to cart. We'll see.
The brilliance of his comedy lies in how he uses his personal experience to turn an awkward condition into a punchline, bringing both depth and humor to the topic of identity. As things get sharper, this comedian steps in with his trademark quick wit, delving into the sensitive topic of gender pronouns with a balance of respect and irreverence. His sharp observation that there are now 10 different pronouns, including it, brings a burst of humor through the absurdity of the growing list, while acknowledging that he will always respect people's choices but still find humor in it.
I don't know LGBTQ, but what's I? Who knows I? You know I? I looked at that, I'm like, maybe that's me. That sounds like a dude wants to go to outer space to get some. Yeah. I'm in now. Intergalactic. Like, yeah, forget you Earthlings. I want to go up there, see what's up. How many guys here would sleep with a hot alien? Be real. You thought about it, right? I'm talking about up there alien, not down here, not the south, not Mexico. I'm talking about Arizona. Listen, aliens.
His personal pronouns, he, introduce a comedic twist, underlining his identity as a comedian while poking fun at the seriousness of modern pronoun culture. The use of wordplay here adds layers to the joke, showing how humor can address social topics without being malicious.
Of course, man, aliens are hot, so I'm already one of the new letters. I'm I, all right? LGBTQIA. What's the A? Anyone know? A. I looked it up. Someone who has with themselves. I'm like, the whole pandemic, that was me too. I'm knocking it out, man. I'm a hella minority over here. I didn't even... I'm doubled up. I'm killing it. That was badass. The second A is ally. That one didn't make sense to me. Friends with all the other letters. I'm like, oh, hell no. We're over here doing all this hard work, and you're like, I'm with them. No, get your in the game and join us if you want to be part of this minority group. You can't just be like, I'm with them. Hell no, right? And plus means to be continued. There's gonna be more coming soon. I had one lady after a show, she goes, you didn't mention me, I'm pansexual. I'm like, all right, well, I'm in a deep dish, but we can work something out. We'll go get a thin crust, we'll talk about it, right? I'm just saying, if there's too many letters, they're gonna have to make a whole song. That way you could get them, you know? Because, yeah, you're gonna have to learn your gay BCs. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Finally, the comedian transitions to a more bizarre, yet comically brilliant idea. Verdos presents a world where monkeys could one day demand equal rights for scientists. The absurdity of the idea, which starts off as an impossible dream, gradually morphs into a ridiculous, yet oddly thought-provoking concept. The humor here is born from its inherent absurdity, mixing the serious with the nonsensical, creating an unexpected reflection on human nature. The joke challenges the audience to think beyond the limits of reality while keeping them in stitches with the sheer outlandishness of the premise. It's a moment where the ridiculous and the insightful collide, proving that sometimes the most bizarre ideas spark the best laughter.
This next joke might get me cancelled. Come on. Transgender people aren't what they used to be. And really, there's two issues. There's trans and there's non-binary, and they often get conflated in our media, but they're very separate issues. Trans and non-binary. So non-binary, that's the one with the pronouns. So there's now more pronouns than there ever used to be. There's now 10 pronouns. I'll quickly go through it so we're all on the same page. The 10 pronouns are he, she, they, them, it, gross, what is that? And I'm very on board. I will call you what you want to be called. I will treat you with respect, always. But I'm also going to make jokes about it. My pronouns are he. Because I identify as a comedian.
The comedian draws a sharp contrast between feminist ideals and absurd humor, using unexpected, often wild twists to address serious topics. He starts with a playful reference to monkeys in San Francisco, setting the tone for an outlandish perspective on feminism. As the audience feels the tension rise in response to his bold stance, he redefines feminism, flipping the common narrative.
I dream that one day monkeys will give scientists equal rights. For too long, we have oppressed scientists from their dream of becoming monkeys. Because in those beautiful 5 seconds when you fall asleep at night, when your dreams mesh into your reality, all a scientist dreams of being is a monkey. Do you feel me, San Francisco? No? Are you on board? No. And that's how I feel about feminism.
He states that true feminism isn't about women becoming like men, but about women having the freedom to be whatever they choose. This idea lands like a punchline, mixing satire with a critique of the limitations imposed by traditional expectations.
You women, calm the down. Jesus Christ. Did you feel the energy shift in the room, huh? Just the BuzzFeed articles rising in their bodies. Did you feel that? The dictionary defines feminism as the advocacy of equal rights based on the equality of the sexes. I'm on board with only the first half of that sentence. I believe we deserve equal rights. I do not believe in the equality of sexes. I believe that women are beautiful, intelligent, layered, complex creatures. Men are with them. My definition of feminism is not letting a woman be whatever a man can be. It's letting a woman be whatever a woman wants to be. To limit a woman to the achievements of a man is to ask a scientist to become a monkey.
The joke about feminism is both biting and absurd. The line, "To limit a woman to the achievements of a man is to ask a scientist to become a monkey," packs a punch, showing how limiting gender roles stifle potential. It's an example of humor that disrupts conventional thinking with bold absurdity while providing deep commentary on gender equality.
You're so stupid, you believe anything. All right, no! Whoa, calm down. I identify as a feminist. If you do, clap your hands, please, yes? Isn't it a wonderful feeling, guys, huh? Isn't the best thing about it that you can identify as a feminist and feel like one without actually doing anything about it? You can just feel it on the inside. That's Indian feminism. We identify and it's feminism, not the Gymkhana Club. You don't need a membership card. If there's one thing we can learn from racists, it's less talk, more action. You don't see racists identifying as racists, writing blogs, feeling the racism inside. No, they just wake up in the morning and they do racist every day, all day long with commitment, and look how far their movement has come.
His fearless, no-holds-barred comedy lands a line that's brash and politically incorrect, but undeniably funny. The joke about not vaccinating kids alongside the quirky observation about koalas adds a surreal layer of humor, and it's the kind of unfiltered, unapologetic comedy that leaves the audience both laughing and thinking.
Are you gonna vaccinate your kids, miss? Thanks, miss. I don't have a gender. Neither do koalas. You won't vaccinate them?
By taking this trope to an extreme, the comedian highlights how ridiculous and superficial such expectations can be. The final line, where the comedian suggests that when women reach 24, they'll start caring about pets, perfectly wraps up the humor with an absurd and unexpected punch. It's a mix of sharp wit, unpredictability, and commentary on societal pressures, all wrapped up in comedic chaos.
What do you mean? Wait, hold on. Dude, this is this new that I don't get that women do. You don't want kids, right? Okay, but it's like you're young and hot now, so it's like fun doing you know? But like soon you're gonna be 24 and then nobody cares, you know what I mean? Like, and then what are you gonna do from 24 to 94? Like, what are you gonna do for all those years when you don't have kids? That's what happens. That's when you start caring about pets.
This comedic performance takes chaos to an entirely new level, blending sharp wit and absurdity with a touch of awkward silence that adds to the hilarity. The setup about not wanting kids evolves into an unexpectedly absurd punchline, comparing a man who denies wanting kids to a man who goes bald and shaves his head, calling it a choice.
So no kids, man. That's so weird. Do you really? How old are you? 38? Oh, you ain't having no kids, right? That's the that just happened, and you trying to get out in front of it. Like, yeah. I don't want any kids. Well, it's so stupid. I would never want kids. It's like when a guy's going bald and just shaves it. This is my choice. This is how I wanted my hair to look like.
His sharp, unapologetic critique about people who get overly sensitive about humor turns the tables with a biting take on the current sensitivity surrounding jokes about transgender people. His punchline: you can't even call them chicks anymore. You have to call them men who talk too much. Not only pokes fun at the hypersensitivity, but also leaves the audience laughing at the absurdity of what comedy can and can't address.
Oh, I hope this doesn't jinx me and then I don't have to have kids. I want some kids. How's your girl, Chelsea? Oh, she's cool, man. Thanks for asking, bro. Hater. Look, I'm out here in Australia trying to get some. Now you make me feel all guilty. I got a 38-year-old who's barren, ready to go. You know what I mean? Jesus. Can't invite these Indians anywhere, dude. I almost said, go back to your country.
The beauty of these moments lies in their unpredictability and their sharpness. These jokes cut through the chaos with surgical precision. The uncomfortable humor doesn't stop at just making you laugh. It also forces you to question your own sense of boundaries and what's acceptable in comedy.
I get really mad when people get sensitive about comedy. If you're sensitive about comedy, it's the dumbest thing you can do. I call them the joke police. They always have one rule they have. You can't make fun of this right now. After a couple years, they move on to something else, which is why it's so hypocritical. Like the thing today, the thing right now you can't make fun of, the thing it's too sensitive at this moment, transgendered people. See? Can't do it. Can't make fun of them. It's too sensitive. In fact, you can't even call them chicks with anymore. No.
So, which moment had you laughing the hardest? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more of this edgy, chaotic genius.